All right. Welcome back. Here we are again. It is February. Jesus.
March.
March 6th. We're in the springtime almost, right? Don't we spring ahead pretty soon?
Two more weeks.
Wow. Excellent.
Extra hour of sunshine.
Nice.
Is
Extra.
the extra 6 weeks of winter over? Punxsutawney Phil saw his shadow, right? Or didn't, or something.
Well, he did. He did see
the
his shadow.
Yeah.
Art was there.
So it's going to be what is it? Lamb in, lion out, or lion in, lamb out.
Oh, in like a lion, out like a lamb,
Mhm.
in like a lamb, out like a lion, that kind of thing. Whoa.
Yeah. So far, March has been kind of in like a lamb. It's
Well,
been warmer. It's been
You've been a
rainy.
lion in February, dude. I mean, geez, you guys got slammed.
Yeah, we got slammed.
That was tough.
Yeah, well, hopefully the slamming is over.
Yeah, the weather map went from a nor'easter all blue on the map to now all red and the heat wave in just like a week. But hopefully the snow's all melted.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good. So spring's coming, new changes in the air. I don't know what's going on with copiers in March of 2026. Art, anything?
Yeah, so I'll pull out some
Yeah.
press releases or topics, and then I guess we can talk about them as it goes.
I don't remember anything, but that's here nor there. There's a lot happened in AI this week. Always.
A lot happening all over this week. I thought it was a pretty busy week, actually.
Good.
So just some regular press releases. Canon recognizes leader in worldwide print security solutions and services. Again, I don't think that's something salespeople are going to pay much attention to, and I don't think that's something clients are going to pay much attention to. So I think that goes on our question last week is, are these type of reports really needed besides
yeah,
the manufacturer putting a feather in their cap, right?
it's a circle something. It's like the Academy Awards. There's a bunch of actors giving each other awards.
Yeah.
I would agree.
I could go on, but I better not because I'll get in trouble.
Yeah, well, so we'll finish the press releases and see what floats our boat for discussion.
Ooh. But that news was about security. It wasn't about self-gratification, right?
No, it's
Well,
self-gratification.
Oh.
Anything that comes out from Canon or Ricoh, they're self-gratifying all over the place. It gets messy.
Mhm.
But yeah, I guess is security a big issue with print? That's
If you ask the manufacturer, it's a huge deal, and their solution to security is the best solution out there. I don't know. It's hard to say whether it's a realistic attack vector to say the copiers on your network are less secure than every other computer on your network.
right. But and yes, so I mean, it is connected to the network. On paper, it looks like a viable open door, especially
on paper. Yeah.
On paper,
Yeah.
it
90,
seems-
I believe 90% of let me jot it down a bit. 80% of the SMB accounts couldn't give her a rat's shit about it.
That's
No.
When you look at the other 20%, which could be enterprise locations, or maybe somebody that already got hit with a ransomware or malware, that is very important to them. But for the regular SMB user, they couldn't give a rat's ass.
And what John just says, if it's on your network, it's behind your firewall, right or not?
True. However,
There's a however. Okay.
there's always a however. And what I like to explain to clients sometimes is I ask them if they have a cleaning service that comes into their office. And they'll say, oh, yeah, we have a cleaning service. And I'll say, okay, do you know the people who are coming into your office? No. Do you have them vetted? No. So anybody, if I was a criminal and I was on the street and I was watching people going in and out of your place, I would see the cleaning crew and I would give somebody maybe $200 or $300 to stick this little USB port in your copier. Now I'm behind the firewall. Am I right, John?
That anything is absolutely anything
Totally
is possible, yes.
plausible.
Yes, it is plausible. Yes.
Correct.
We
So,
used to disable the USB port for that very reason. Is that you can stick stuff and download malware and
Very true.
hijack the data.
Very
oh yeah,
true.
absolutely.
You can do that. And it is recommended for security, for proper security. But you know what is, I would say what's driving security more than anything else is cybersecurity insurance. They would look for, you buy a cybersecurity policy, you have a lot of things you have to check off, right? You have a lot of things you have to, we have intrusion detection, we have, password protection, we have this, the multi-factor, whatever it is. If you get hit, and they find a copier that has, default admin password or is not secure with the latest firmware, they'll say, "Oh, look, there was a non-supported network device on your network. We're not going to,
hey,
honor your policy."
Yeah.
So, there's that too. I think there's
John's got a good point there. Absolutely. And that's probably additional talk track that you have to have that come to Jesus moment with your clients about cybersecurity.
So it's a compliance issue. It's not really a security issue.
I think the actual real risk of somebody going in through a copier to get into your network is relatively speaking low, but something that needs to be taken care of. I would see the Windows computers on your network as a much more likely attack vector than a copier, because they don't have a person opening emails on a copier. That's going to click on malicious firmware and such. So anyway.
Oh, interesting. That's a good point, John.
Speaking of malicious actors.
Whoa.
What did I do?
That's me.
Mr. Shriver.
Oh, Mr. Shriver. So John Shriver is a first-time addition to our show.
Yeah.
And when I told him that we have our shows at 4:00 and we usually have some bourbon and some cigars, he pretty much stated, "Well, I'm going to be at."
Very nice.
You have
Very
bourbon.
So, John,
I'm all set.
Tell us what you're drinking.
This is I think it's I fill it to the top of the big square ice cube, so it's probably a double shot of Elijah Craig.
Wow, excellent.
Okay.
Yeah, it's yummy.
So we were just talking about that earlier. I was downstairs pouring my bourbon, and I kind of free-handed it into my ice. And my wife stated, "Well, you're a little bit heavy with that. That looks like more than a shot to me." I'm like going to myself and going, "Well, I don't know about that." She goes, "Well, get a shot glass out and test it." Yeah, well, the freehand was kind of heavy. That's all I can say.
What have we learned? Don't pour in front of the wife.
Good point. Good point.
Absolutely, especially when you have to take a trip in a couple hours.
Well, that I agree with. Yes,
I do as well.
Well, Art, what are you drinking? Is it still Taylor or?
So I'm drinking Maker's Mark.
All right, excellent.
Oh, I like that.
But I have combined it with what we did last week, Reed's Ginger.
Oh, that's right.
Which is non-alcoholic, right?
I gotta get some of that.
Yeah, no calories, and it really is quite tasty.
Tastes good with your bourbon, your tequila, and good for your tummy.
Yeah, good for your tummy as well.
Well, back in the days, I guess Art used to mix Blue Moon and tequila.
That's
What?
correct. Or any cerveza and tequila.
Really?
I actually take a draft beer, or maybe in a bottle of beer, dump it into the glass, and then add 1 or 2 shots of tequila.
Oh, I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so it's like a red beer, only better. You know, red beer,
I never had a
Clamato,
red beer.
it's Clamato and beer, pretty much.
Okay.
But then a couple shots of tequila. I may have to try that.
Nice.
Wow, that took a left turn. Okay.
Yeah, both
Art,
turns
Art,
are
I,
good.
Art, I did see your email, and that I like the wrap.
Oh, you like the wrap?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's pretty cool.
Yes, it is. So we'll get the talk track on to something else. I'm gonna want to show that to everybody.
Okay.
I'll turn my phone off.
That's Friday. No one wants to close the copier deal anymore.
I do. So we'll do a couple press releases and see if we can get into a talk track, and I'll try and find what I'm looking for. Epson launched its new Short Color V4000, which is basically a mid-range UV flatbed printer to the company's V series UV printer lineup. So this follows the whole migration of print, where more print is going to packaging and production, and more companies with the likes of Epson, with the likes of Konica Minolta are coming out with new either wide format devices, right, that can increase usage
Yeah.
and consumption.
Is that like a flatbed printer, Art? Is that what you're referencing, or?
Yeah, that one's actually a mid-range flatbread.
Okay.
I don't think there's a picture here of them. There's kind of a picture on my site. But it says it can do media thickness up to 200 millimeters. And that's about it on that one. Let's see, what else do we have? What else? So, Kevin, why don't you talk about this press release? Twain Working Group appoints Christopher Winder and Shradex.
Yeah, I read that, Kevin. Give us the real skinny.
Yeah, give us a lowdown on what's going on there.
Yeah, so Chris and Shad White are longtime imaging guys, mostly on the scanning side. Chris Winder was most recently the business development guy at OpenText. And OpenText is big enterprise software company, you think proprietary, but Chris was fighting the good fight and trying to work with SMBs and the developer community on open standards and using open technologies with commercial technology. So Chris is no longer a OpenText employee, and he lives in Canada, and he's developing the Canadian kind of startup ecosystem. Okay,
Oh.
so he's been always a fan of Twain, even though OpenText kind of sort of has a competing driver technology called ISIS. So Chris has joined us as a very community engaging kind of person, and he's joined our advisory council. So that's one, Chris. And then the second guy, Shad White, he's a longtime imaging workflow business process, selling big giant systems to Fortune 500 kind of companies. He started a company, Cloud Power, 15 years ago. It was one of the first cloud companies in document management and capture and all this kind of stuff. And it was at a time when everybody was like, "Oh, AWS is losing a lot of money, and Box and Evernote," and he took a lot of grief, believe me. And we coined "cloud as a fad." It was kind of a phrase you'll see out on the internet we use once in a while because it was very faddish. People were like, "Oh, you can't make money on this stuff, right?" So Cloud Power is a 15-year-old company, and now he's come back to imaging and embraced imaging. And he was right. And now a lot of companies like AWS and Google and all these companies have a document management kind of capability, a storage capability, an OCR capability.
Yeah.
So they all now have these capabilities that was very niche. So both of those guys, longtime industry guys, a lot of industry perspective. And the whole idea is that the Twain Working Group, most of our membership is kind of hardware mentality. We're trying to broaden into solutions mentality and software mentality and connectivity. So they joined the committee, the advisory council, and there's about 8 or 9 on the advisory council. We meet every quarter, and we just talk about ideas and what we should do as a group.
Cool.
Yeah, there's.
Having said that, Kevin, what is the Twain Group up to now? Is it like a mission statement or a go forward for 2026 and 27? What are you guys trying
Yeah.
to do?
So we want to connect everything to everything. We want to connect hardware to software, which we've done for a long time with scanning, but we want to connect hardware to hardware so they can talk the same language, and a hardware to software to hardware to software to, so there's basically workflows and IoT devices and software applications. They all have IP addresses. So we want to be that universal protocol to end all protocol and connect everything to everything. Now, right now, just to be very honest, we're kind of nichey in scanning, but we have a broader kind of idea that we want to connect robots. Like, for example, the Crickets Continuum is actually helping us engage the robotic community, where we can have the robots talk a language that talks the copy machines, that talks the scanners. So if we could start, broadening our kind of ecosystem, then you don't have proprietary communication layers, right? And it helps people develop systems faster, and you don't have to go license, a driver technology,
Right.
right? It's just open.
Right.
It's kind of like the analogy of, you're not going to go pave the road and create a freeway, right? We all pay into that in our tax dollars, create highways and roads. Now, the way that you onboard to that road could be a very unique way, your own technology, but nobody would ever build a highway. So, you don't go build TCP/IP. You did not build USB. You did not build HDMI. These are all standards that, vendors contribute money to these organizations to help create connectivity. Highway is an example of that.
Cool. Wow. And I just want to put this on the record. I should have mentioned this a long time ago. You remember Mike Stramalio, right? From ECS? His original company was machine to machine communications.
Oh, wow. I had no idea.
Yeah, I know. So I apologize because you guys could have had a nice little chat. Put that in your to-do list because we'll get you guys in touch. So yeah, that's old school. But that's how Mike was in. And of course it was copiers to whatever. I don't remember. But yeah, forgot about that. Well, that's cool. Cool. What else, Art?
I think Art might be trying to sell a copier.
I don't blame him. All right. maybe he didn't sell enough.
When Art goes black, he's
that poor got to him, right? His wife was right.
I need to get him under some sort of training program because that was
maybe I was gonna say maybe the wife pulled the plug.
Yeah, you may have.
All right, well, I'll take the ball from here. I didn't see anything new in the copy word other than what Art was talking about this week. How about you guys? Anything? John, anything new on the workflow and all that cool stuff?
Yeah, not too much. I had a good conversation with one of our software vendors who was asking about can we have some time with the reps and go over some new features, functionalities, maybe move their particular brand of software to top of mind kind of thing. And
classic.
It's never ends. I mean, you have a lot of people that are behind you trying to push their particular version of software or hardware, and it's tough to satisfy everybody. I came from the Ricoh side, me trying to talk to Art and John trying to sell Ricoh software, and I'm sure they had the same thing with DocuWare and all this other stuff. So it's different to be on the receiving side of that pressure, that sales pressure. But yeah, and every software manufacturer is adding new features and expanding their footprint in offerings available.
Yeah,
they want to have something to sell to everybody. So that's different. Yeah.
Well, all right, that's interesting. Good for you. Art, are you back?
Yeah, I'm back.
Art,
I'm back. Yeah.
right.
So we'll go through, I'll pick out a couple more that look interesting. Let's see. Tough to figure out. Oh, here's an interesting one. Canon USA awarded 2026 Line of the Year by Key Point.
I guess it was their turn.
I guess that's a good that's a great award. I like Key Point, but 2026 isn't over yet.
Right. Just
Must be
started.
Oh, yeah,
must be
you're
really,
right.
really good.
Right. So maybe it's something similar to all copier leases are billed in arrears, and maybe all the awards are awarded in advance.
Huh.
Just a thought.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I don't know the format of the meeting or anything like that, but I'm just gonna jump in here because
Yeah.
one of the things that's always we talk with document management, and I've been selling document management since '93, and it just seems like copier reps have never really grasped document management. You know they're great with the copiers and going out and talking about lease payment and three paper drawers and stapling and everything like that. But you know I know it's because it's a quick hit and you can move down the road with them. But the content management, I've always been a proponent of it, that it's a real good piece of business, and it's a real good way to get into a business and stay relevant within that business. But how do we, we have the talk tracks, we have this, but how do we get them engaged? Do we have the right comp plans? I'm guessing probably not right now, but I've always struggled with that. That how do we get them to grab onto it and take it? And it is a longer cycle. In my career, I found the content management, it can be a low of maybe New Jersey Nurses Association, what, 60 days, John? Somewhere around
I
there?
would say that. I would say
60
2 to
days
3 months.
to,
Yeah,
That's fast.
That's fast.
yeah, I know, to 2 years.
That's normal.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and I think, how do you get people engaged that people, meaning reps, how do you get reps engaged
Well,
so that they stay engaged down the
first,
road?
Art,
First
you go
thing-
first because I've got.
yeah. Well, first they got to stay with you longer than 2 years, right?
What's that?
Turnover.
Turnover.
Yeah.
I think the reward should be larger for the document management commissions because it takes so much more time.
Yeah.
Think about it. If I sell an A3 machine and if I get a $900 commission, I can get that $900 commission in 3 to 4 weeks in a sales cycle.
Yeah.
I'm working on the same type of commission for document management. Let's just say a regular SMB, small,
Mhm.
maybe $30,000 opportunity. You're going to get the same commissions, and it could take up to 2 years. And instead of making one appointment and 10 phone calls, you're going to make 10 appointments and maybe 30 phone calls.
Yeah.
That's the biggest problem I see.
Yeah. When I sold it, I put, because you need a SME, a special subject matter expert. I had an equation for every SME we engaged, it extended the sales cycle 30 days. So, and that's being nice. So at Icon, right, we had 52,000 different document workflow archiving software packages, 1,800 different hardware platforms. As a salesperson, you had to know them all. We might have had a staff of 6 or 7, and that was in a remote location of SMEs who knew color, document management, workflow, digitization, all that stuff. So whenever you ran into an opportunity like that, your decision process slowly slips out of the control of the sales funnel slips out of your hands as a salesperson. That's another big thing. You put your trust into this SME. And I don't know if you guys have noticed that the software support guys and the sales guys don't ever get along, right? Because the support guy extends my selling cycle. I need to get that money in the next 30 days. And that leads back to the dealer quota system.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, you can have as much, you can comp the heck out of the closed deal. But if the dealer says, Mr. Sales Guy, you need to sell 5 copiers every single month, you're not going to get any attention, past the 15th if I've only sold 1 copier. You won't.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then, like Art said, if it's a 24-month or an 8-month cycle, there's no guarantee you're going to get it.
Right.
Right? So
Yeah. There's a lot of effort for possibly no payout at all.
Yeah.
no payout. Now sales guys are okay with that as long as it's in their control. If we lose a sale because of something we did, we can live with that. But if we lose a sale because my SME was an idiot or tried to do too much instead of just focusing, or whatever the reason is, because then I'm accountable to my sales manager for this document management system that didn't come to close.
Yeah.
I will make a small point here. If I need to make a financial change to close a deal, I can do that very easily with a copier.
Mhm.
I cannot do that with content. I can't.
Mm-hmm.
It's in its own silo. And from what I've seen from other people's, those silos are greatly protected. And there's not really someone who can step up and say, okay, well, your objection is price. Let's
work on that. If we
let's-
work on that,
let's-
can we close the deal? That
let-
doesn't happen.
Yeah, well,
I don't always think. I think with content management, as far as, I mean, cost it's relevant, but it could be irrelevant because I'm creating a new and better process for them.
You are, John, but
you're creating a dream that isn't real yet.
well,
True. Yeah.
yeah, but salespeople are more like painters. We can paint the picture of the future. We can do the Michelangelo and say, this is what your future is going to look like with our equipment or our content. But when it comes down to trying to get a deal done by the end of the quarter, the end of the month, the salespeople have no control. So it's called a drop close. If I wanted to do a drop close and say, I can save you X amount of money if we can get to the finish line this month.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We can't do that with
You cannot. It's
content.
not on our time. It's not on our timeline. It's on their timeline based on their business needs and the solution that we're providing.
Correct, but it's also on the dealer's financials as well.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what you find is there's a lot behind the scenes at the dealer model that really mess things, add more friction, right? Because the doc man might have its own P&L. It might have its own management. It might have its own all that stuff, right?
So as a salesperson, you know what it's going to sell for, but you have no idea what the cost is.
Oh, that's the other thing.
Mhm.
Right.
You could
So
sell it.
you're-
You're thinking you're getting a $50,000. You end up getting a $5,000 because this, that, because it's not been defined as easily as the copier cost me $8,000. You sold it for $12,000, and you put all this much in. So there's your profit. Here's your commission. The other side is, well, we thought it was going to be this, but we added this mod. We did this, and oh, by the way, it took us 12 hours instead of 4 hours. That's coming out of your GP, Mr. Sales Rep.
The point is that you don't even know it. My
don't
point
know.
is that if I did want to offer a financial advantage to the client, I can't
You can't.
because I don't know. Now,
It's not that type of sale.
well, maybe if
It could be,
it was turned into that type of dealer rep,
but
here's your cost, here's MSRP. Price it accordingly. You have to have X amount of GP in the deal. At that point in time, then I do have a little bit of control trying to move that deal forward. In addition, I know what the potential of the gross profit can be. So I could stick with that deal longer because I see, I see the future with maybe a large payoff. I don't see the payoff with a lot of dealers. The sales rep doesn't see the payoff. what it could be.
So with the content management, there's I'm going to say there's kind of two basic components. You have the licensing of the software, and you have the professional services. So
Correct.
you can't give a rep the flexibility to discount back professional services. So then they have one thing they can discount back.
Well,
Yeah.
why not? Why not? If you
Well, in some
price
cases,
it like a copier model.
you're dealing with two different entities as far as, okay, I have the software, this is our cost and everything, and then you had the professional services group that says this is what our professional services, and we think we
Okay.
need this amount of time to do this.
Right.
In my history, they're not willing to say, all right,
That's it.
instead of $1.50 an hour, we'll take $1.10 an hour or something like that.
Okay, so why not let the sales rep make it $2.50 an hour? And then the sales rep knows that
Start higher.
he can go down to $1.50 if he needs to.
Right.
Give the salesperson that advantage, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all I'm trying. That's all I'm trying to say. Just long term,
What
the
if
sales rep doesn't know what the profit is. The sales rep really doesn't know what they're going to make.
Yeah. What about focused content management reps versus everybody sells it?
Who gets the lead? Who gets the credit for the lead?
Well, no, I had a guy, this was back in early 2000s. I hired him just strictly for content management. He learned the product, he understood the product, and he went out and attacked a specific vertical market. And they would invite him to their lunch programs and have him present because he became an expert on their field. So he did very well as a focused rep. He didn't sell copiers. Now he had some life changes which kind of squelched everything, but he did very well when he was focused on that. And if a copier rep would bring in the lead for him, they would get a bonus or whatever on top of that. So is it better served that we have people that focus strictly on that, and or is it something? I think because with our company, we let everybody sell it, and as I started out, nobody really talks about it because it's so much easier and quicker to go out there and sell a copier.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
That's my struggle with it. But I didn't mean to hijack the whole meeting.
No, you're not hijacking.
No.
You're contributing. Good, because it's an argument old as time. 1999 to keep going back, and it impacts of management services was the same thing. Managed IT services, any extra little thing that not little, but anything that's added to the copier sale is part of this. Granted, I think that the workflow and all that is more complex, and it could be sophisticated, but it's definitely more complex. And in my view, MPS was an on-ramp to that particular solution, right? But I can tell you if you go into it as a sales rep, you want the whole thing, it's going to take a long time.
Right. Maybe the answer is just to give a little bit more control to the seasoned reps and let them dictate how much money they would like to make instead of the content silo dictating what they would make.
I mean, dealers would say, internally, we need this amount of GP to support this new division of experts. SMEs were not cheap. They were expensive, right? So
They still are. Yep.
They still are, right? So you can't let your sales guy negotiate down because the GP's got to be 75% or we can't have him practice, right? Whatever that is. So that was the control. And then, you add to that the whole, okay, now my multiple copier deal has spread into a document management system. Okay, I got to send out my SMEs. They're going to do a 30-day analysis. They're going to take 15 days to put a proposal together. And then even down to the tactics of making the sales presentation.
You're slowing this whole thing down for me.
You're killing it, dude. You're killing me, Smalls. That's what's happening. And then, so I can get up there and make my presentation on the hardware, the MPS, take 15 minutes. Do you like it? Yes. And then sit in an hour and a half analysis of workflow. Not that it's invalid, but your ROI is this because we've measured it takes you 5 minutes to do this, and we can get it down to 3 minutes. That's $1 an hour, whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
And it may not be right, but all those questions in the decision maker's head are going off. Meanwhile, my MPS and my copier deal is sliding further and further out of focus. right? So he's just the decision maker's just, oh, this is too confusing. Forget the whole thing.
Hey, I've got just an interesting topic that we spoke about last week. There was an alert in my Google Alerts that Xerox Holding Corp files non-timely 10K with United States Secretary.
What is that?
Well, that means they were late in filing their. So here's what it says. Xerox Holdings Corp filed something with the United States Security and Exchange Commission. The SEC is the federal agency that oversees publicly traded companies. What a 10K is. 10K is a company's annual financial report and includes full financial statements, revenue, profit, loss, debt levels, risk factors, management discussions about the business. What non-timely means is they did not file it on the required deadline, all right? It goes on to say, is this serious? Is that it can be, but not always. Common reasons: audit not finished, internal accounting review, system reporting delays, complexity in financial reporting. But there's more serious possibilities: accounting irregularities, restatements, internal control issues, right? Yeah. So it goes on to state, and again, I put this in an AI and it gave me some ideas, but it said to me, for someone like me who watches the OEM industry shifts and the future of the print, this is important because it may signal financial pressure. It may hint at restructuring. It could affect stock price. We spoke about that last week.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It can influence dealer confidence, and it could impact other investments that they're looking to make. So
is that for all public companies?
That's for all public companies.
They're attributing it to the complexity of the Lexmark. I just kind of scanned it right now, so that's they got to report that this year.
Mm-hmm. It's just another thing, another click, another thing.
Yeah, Xerox is hardly ever late with those filings. But you would tend to think that this happened in June, and this is March. They would have got this all finished in time.
Yeah.
So, I would like to say, yeah, Kevin, you're absolutely right. It's complexity, but with the way their stock's been dropping like a rock,
they're trying to sell off everything.
There could be other things involved as well.
Dang. Well, it's just another, like I said earlier, it's just another thing. It's just another little click, right? I mean,
did you say another little click?
I did. And I'm glad you caught that.
Isn't that like a song? Another little.
I don't know what you're talking about, Art.
Have another bourbon.
Yeah.
Listen, I haven't even finished my first one.
You're good. You're good. Wow. Well, I mean, it's same thing we said last week. It was a bummer when Lexmark went offshore, right? And now with Xerox, these are American companies. It's a bummer, but it's like, yeah, this is what happens. This is the evolution, right? IBM was able to dodge a bullet and make an elephant dance, and they're still around. But Digital, Burroughs, those guys are gone. Vax, VMS, it's the same. And unfortunately, it's the same old story.
I was talking to somebody about, these companies go for decades and then they get knocked off and then the next comes on. But now you have Anthropic and OpenAI. Every other day they're switching 20 billion market share here. And so it's not decades. It's now like days or weeks for the leaders in a market to go from leader to laggard and vice versa.
That the acceleration because of that is AI and all that. And so it's funny. I was just putting together some articles about comparing, what's the world going to look like after Microsoft is gone, which is pretty soon. So we went back and looked at how they started, right? Back then there were, maybe 20 computer companies manufacturing hardware, computers. And there was IBM only had one operating system with CPM, something like that. the whole story, how Microsoft got started, Gates, blah, 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 boom, it happens. But it's very similar to what's going on right now with all the AI companies and the tech companies, what happened back in the early 80s and the mid 80s, right? Except for it's condensed. It's like, it's not going to take a decade. It's going to take, I don't even know, maybe a year, not even 24 months anymore.
Microsoft makes a lot of money on Office still, right? But there's people that are vibe coding Office applications.
Office is dead. It's good. It's an anchor
Yeah.
around most companies' neck right now. And you're
Yeah.
right. I've heard more and more people do not renew their Office
Yeah.
but at the enterprise where they're captive and they've got the handcuffs and all that. That's why Copilot is still around. Copilot sucks. It sucks. But because you're a Windows house or a Microsoft house and you've got 50,000 employees, that's 50,000 subscriptions plus or whatever the hell it is, right? It really sucks. And what people don't get is like, what was it? An Anthropic or one of them has a really good quote unquote Excel plugin, which is just code for we're going to get rid of Excel because we can do it inside of whatever you want with these numbers to be done on a spreadsheet. Anthropic can do in Anthropic world. Don't need a spreadsheet. So, and then you see Microsoft putting AI inside Excel is totally backwards, totally wrong. And they have nothing else. Maybe their cloud might save them, but I don't even know if that's going to do it. They're in a tough place. They're in a tougher place than what all those Burroughs, Vax, IBM, all those guys were back in the day. But that's what happens.
Cool. I'm going to share my screen.
Okay.
Good.
I'm going to
I'm
share
going to share
something
one
I
too.
did with
Oh, yeah.
AI.
Go ahead.
I'm
Did-
gonna.
The best business to be in now is the memory business because remember it was so commoditized and now everybody wants it. So it went from nothing to like so
And
precious.
It's going to get worser.
Worcer?
It's going to get
Worser.
worse.
You know something you put on your steak? Worcester sauce?
Yeah, you put worser sauce on your steak. It'd be a bummer of a steak. Where's
right.
your? Are you sharing there, Art?
Yeah.
There you go.
Here we go.
Oh,
my
I love
goodness.
it.
Look at that.
So
Dude, that's cool.
I've actually contacted a wrapping company, gave them the dimensions,
Uh-huh.
and not that I don't think maybe no one will ever buy one, but
Hell yeah, they'll buy
think-
one. Are you kidding me?
I think the dealership that announces that this is available for a premium price can explode on something like LinkedIn. Just absolutely explode.
Mm-hmm.
You get
Yeah.
this arranged and then show it to Mike. And he'll take that and run with it. Is that a Ricoh?
Yeah, that's a Ricoh. That's
course.
a DSD series. And that was a couple of configurations I had to do. But I like the final product on the way this turned out, especially the wrapping company I called thought this was impressive.
That is great.
Did they send this back to you, Art?
No, I did this with AI and then I sent that to them. So what I've got to do now, right, is I got to give them the dimensions of the machines. I told them this is only going to be for the face of the machine. I don't need the
Right.
sides done.
Yeah.
And once I send them the dimensions, they're going to give me a price. I asked them just to give me a one-off price right now because they asked about multiples, but just give me a one-off price so I can promote this and really see if there's an interest in something like this.
That's awesome.
I bet Trump would buy one for the Oval Office.
Hell yeah.
Oh, you know what? he just may.
Art, you may have to bring that up with Lou. Or if you know anyone at Xerox, this may save the company.
You know what? It absolutely could. And just think, you've got a 250th anniversary.
Yeah.
I love the deliciousness of it being on a Japanese machine.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well,
That's pretty good.
yeah. So I'm pretty
Wow.
excited about this. I floated it to powers to be, and I got 0 comments.
What?
And you expected comments?
You got
I
crickets, huh?
actually thought, this is sizzle, right? I actually thought there would be, oh wow, this looks really good. It looks creative. Maybe, we can do something like this.
They didn't think of it, Art, so it doesn't mean anything.
Good possibility.
I love it. You should run with that thing.
I think it's great.
my-
Even if it is just a marketing campaign or something, the exposure I think is
I would add a little green cricket on the bottom right.
A little green cricket crawling up the side of the machine.
Yeah.
So it was about 3 months ago when I took a Ricoh machine, but all I did was tell it to change the colors to red, white, and blue. That ended up with about 5,000 impressions.
Oh,
Wow.
Just on changing the colors to red, white, and blue.
Art, you put that out there, you're going to get a humongous amount.
That's the same thing, I think. And I'll just put in something, call me for details.
Right. Get the pack, obviously, right? I don't need to tell you this. Get the package together, see how much it costs per unit. So you like it? It's $50,000 a unit or whatever the hell it is. Get the address, just send your machines here. We'll wrap it.
No, you don't even have to send it machines. That's the good thing, right?
What?
Yeah.
There's more?
There's more. Listen. So what I do is I'll include an extra set of panels.
No way. Say that again.
I'll include an extra set of front panels with the order. I take the extra panels, I ship them to the wrap. They don't wrap the machine, they wrap the panels. They send the panels back to me. Then I bring them to the client and just take the old panels off, put the new panels on. Done.
No, I want in.
Genius.
This is genius.
Genius.
Just put the little cricket at the very bottom.
What's this cricket? I don't get the cricket thing. What's the cricket?
Art.
So John,
you know what that is?
Aware of this, but we started for Ernest, we started a robotics company in August of this year.
Okay. I knew you were working on that.
And it's called Crickets Continuum.
Oh, okay. Okay. Gotcha.
So we're having a lot of, we're getting dealers signed up. We've got OEMs already in. We've got affiliates on board, ready to go. It's called Crickets, and we've got all sorts of marketing stuff. We went to ECS, rolled out our 2 robots that were there. We'll have plenty more.
Cool.
But yeah, it's called Crickets, and we've got a cricket as our little logo, dude. So
nice. Is it like a gecko?
It looks like more like a robotic cricket.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, I love it. That's cool, Art. You kept it secret. That's really good.
Yeah. So I'm glad you guys like it. And Kevin, what do you think? You've been awfully quiet.
Yeah, Kevin.
It's beautiful. Like this cricket, right?
There you go.
There's the cricket.
No, I love the copy machine with the patriotic 250 years. It's amazing that we're just getting started.
Yeah. I mean, oh boy, don't even we got 3
There's
more hours.
Be amazing celebrations.
Jim,
once Memorial Day starts.
You know the Medal of Honor, Jim Doc McLuhan. He was at the White House last week.
Yeah,
because they did 3 more Congressional Medal of Honor winners. It was really awesome.
Oh, that was so cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Hey, Art, I wanna share. Oh, if I can. Here we go. We're gonna blow up.
Yeah, you should be able to share.
All right, but I don't remember if I kill things or not. So a new sponsor, but actually it does apply here. Let me see if I can share. Oh, host is disabled participant screen sharing.
Oh, hold on. There you go. Kevin was able to share.
I know. Well, you don't like me.
No, I didn't. I don't think.
So, can you guys see? Well, let me know when you can see.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Greg report. Yep.
All right. So, new sponsor, huh, Art? So we've got this. This I just started a few months ago, but it's the Greg Report Substack, but it's got this is what we're going to send out to our Crickets membership. It's all about Cricket stuff. So like, and these are updated almost daily. How to build an office ready robot practice in your dealership. Continuum Tap is a collection. It's a newsletter that goes out every Friday. Today
I
was
see a mug with the woods.
you
I
see a
think I
mug?
see your desktop.
Oh man.
That doesn't look like Florida.
No, you know what? That is my that's off my house in California. Interesting. Okay. Let's try it
There we
again.
go. Oh,
Hang on.
nope.
Hang on. Hang on.
My prediction is Elon Musk is going to write you a check for $2 billion in a year or two.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Yeah.
I'll take that. Let's see. I'm gonna do an application. Oh, can you see it now or not?
No, nothing.
You're not sharing. Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Now
And
you
there
can
it is.
see.
Yes, you're back.
Yeah.
So,
So you can go subscribe to this, right, Greg?
yeah. So what I've done is I've got, obviously the Greg Report is just all AI stuff, general AI, right? But every morning is the morning tap, which is between 4 and 12 links about artificial intelligence that are maybe 24, 48 hours old. They're real up to date. And I don't have an agent picking these out. I go through and pick them out, right? But I do have a whole writing staff that writes it. So that's it. Now everything across here is another Substack. So you don't have to subscribe to all of them, but you can subscribe to one or two. And it's everything that has to do with AI. So AI in sales, AI and robotics, whiskey, of course, sex and religion. Because the sex thing is crazy, but we won't go there now. But what I want to talk about is the Crickets Continuum. This is designed specifically for our Crickets members, right? So it will have content that applies right to them in their journey to bring office-ready robots to the world. So it's everything from how to build an office-ready robot practice, all this stuff, right?
Nice.
So, yeah, this is pretty, and I think I might even have one art, but it doesn't matter. Whoever writes it, if it makes sense, I'll plot.
Oh, look, Xerography's Last Stand.
Yep.
When I Google Greg Report, I get a bunch of luxury stuff. Art.
Yeah, well, that was my old project. I'm just kidding. I don't know what that is. It's gregreport.substack.
That's Substack. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's a whole nother thing. So,
Right.
and it's a newsletter driven, right? It's not really search engine, it's more newsletter driven.
Yeah.
So, anyone who's in the continuum will be on this list. And I think the first one went out tonight or tomorrow or on Fridays will be when I do it. But I've got a whole bunch of stacked articles already set to go. How to
That's
build.
sweet.
Yeah. So it goes through the steps of how to do what we've done over the last 6 to 8 months, right? Yeah.
That's the quasi, right?
Yep, that is the quasi. Which brings
Interesting.
while we're talking about it, Poodoo reached out to me. We're going to start generating a bunch of Poodoo content
Right.
with them.
Right.
So yeah.
Oh, by the way, I had another manufacturer in India reach out to me because of the posts I've been doing on LinkedIn.
Cool. Wow.
Neat.
So this is Art wrote this, right? So I grabbed it off his blog and put it on mine. But here, see this is a Xerox.
Yes, it is.
This is from one of my installs. We replaced like 50 Xeroxes with 30 edge lines. Which, I know, from the fire to the pot, from the pot to the fire, whatever. But
I would say that's 1996.
But Art, I didn't stage this. I walked in and there's a plant on top of the Xerox. And look at this. They got their super duper controller or whatever the hell that thing is down there. I don't know what that is.
It looks like an extra paper stack.
Yeah, it looks like an extra paper deck.
LCT.
Oh, it is. It's yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's from 19 something. Anyway, that's my point. I wanted to introduce that. I don't know if I put all your guys' name on the subscriber list yet. I doubt it, but that's it. That's cool. Oh, Scott, you guys remember Scott? Did we talk about Scott? Scott is out of Arizona, so he was at the ECS thing. His company comes out of the copier industry, but he moves copiers and trucks and stuff like that. So he does all that secure delivery and disposal. I don't know, but he wrote something a while back about how Optimus, the Tesla robot or humanoid, would fit into the office environment. I think he wrote it like 6-8 months ago, so he was on top of it. And so I just grabbed his stuff and then threw it through one of my my writers, and she came up with all this stuff. Anyway, so I just wanted to show that real quick. It was a little self promotion, but there we go. Go out, find it, and subscribe. You don't have to subscribe to all of them, but I would recommend the Crickets for sure.
All right. So no worries. So I want to let everybody know this is our 98th scheduled event. Next week will mark 99. And then the third week of March, we will hit show number 100.
Wow.
So like to thank everybody who's been tuning in over the years, people who have liked, followed, and shared. And otherwise, it is 4:30. So we've got our witching hour. I want to thank Greg for always leading the show, Kevin Neal for his amazing input, to our new member, John Shriver, who we hope to see more often.
Thank you, John.
Sure. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's fun.
Yeah,
Good conversation on the document management. Love that. That was good.
Thank you.
And John DiCarlo, who's our resident content and solutions guru.
Kind of like you, John.
We want to thank you. And
Well, we like Kevin.
Well,
Thanks,
no,
guys.
yeah, we like Kevin. Did I forget Kevin?
No, you got me. You got me. You're good.
And everyone have a great weekend, and we will see you next